What's good, what's good?
It's your boy Jarvie.
As you saw in the title, people believe there's going to be an apocalypse. In 2021, all because of a man named Michel de Nostradamus. He's a Frenchman, born inside the early 1500s. His writings were classified as like a type of writing called an almanac, which is pretty much just like a prediction of the future. And I'll put the actual name of the book on screen, but in English, it translates to the prophecies, and it's pretty much just the collection of this guy's like very own prophecies that he himself created. And before we start, I do want to say that this is all speculation, and it's not like he's like 100% accurate. I've seen like somewhere around like the 70, he's like 70% accurate apparently, but it's all a lot of back and forth stuff, so it's your choice to believe this or not. But I think it's very interesting, and shit, bro, like zombies start popping out, warning y'all now. So if zombies come 2021, that's on y'all if y'all were prepared or not. So this guy named Nostradamus, he wrote the following, they call it a quatrain. They believe that he predicted the rise and power of Adolf Hitler. The quatrain reads, "A young child will be born of poor people, and what does this child do? He will by his tongue seduce a great troop, and his fame will spread far beyond Europe." So, according to BusinessInsider.com, which by the way I'll have all the links down below for anything I went to, Adolf Hitler was born April 20th, yes, 420, 1889, in Australia, which is Western Europe. But his family was middle class, and he did rise to power in part due to his like vocal skills and being able to seduce people, which kind of led to World War II, which they think is the great troop part. Another one is the assassination of JFK. Yeah, so this quatrain says here, "The great man will be struck down in the day by a thunderbolt, an evil deed foretold by the bearer of a petition. According to the prediction, another falls at nighttime, conflict at Reims, London, and pestilence in Tuscany." So the explanation for this one is also found on BusinessInsider.com, and it's President John F. Kennedy, which was a great man, received numerous death threats, which is the petition part, and over the course of his like presidency, he was just getting the death threats and whatnot. So while visiting Dallas on November 22nd, 1963, the president was gunned down, which they consider to be the thunderbolt part, and the assassination shocked and devastated the nation. See, part of the quatrain had that London pestilence part and Tuscany. Like, I don't really see, like, the explanation didn't really talk about that part, but I guess maybe that meant something else, I don't know. But pretty much this all leads to this third and final quatrain that pretty much people believe that he's talking about zombies. I'll read it to you now. "Few young people half dead to give a start. Dead through spite, he will cause the others to shine. And in an exalted place, some great evils to occur. Sad concepts will come to harm each one. Temporal dignified, the mass to succeed. Fathers and mothers, dead of infinite sorrows. Woman in mourning, the pestilent she-monster, the great one to be no more, all the world to end." And in another article that I read, that talks about this quatrain here, it roughly translates, at least they believe, this roughly translates to a Russian scientist will create a biological weapon and produce a virus that can turn humankind into zombies, and we will all be extinct in the near future. What? That's a lot to read. Like, we're gonna be extinct? Like, I'm not letting a zombie get me. I played too much Call of Duty Zombies, I played too much Dead Island, played too much Left 4 Dead. There's no way, I'm a pro at this point, like. So, even more kind of proving this, the CDC like posted about zombie preparedness with sections of information on like how it's better to be safe than sorry. I'll have like a little picture here, I'll have a little snippet from the website, and pretty much it's saying like you should be prepared, you should have water, food, medication, tools and supplies, sanitation and hygiene, clothing and bedding. It says you should have important documents. I'm not sure if I really need my driver's license, passport, birth certificate, or anything while I'm killing zombies. But shit, I guess in case society does get restored, you should have your documents with you. You should be ready to file your taxes. Even though we live through an apocalypse, you still gotta file your taxes, okay? And they even have like goals that they've already thought of. They have goals that they want to accomplish in case there is actual zombie apocalypse. They want to determine the cause of the illness, the source of the infection slash virus slash toxin, whatever it is. Because I guess, like Left 4 Dead 2, there's a chance there could be different special infected. There's not all of it. There's going to be tanks. There's going to be witches, chargers, jockeys. We're going to have them all, okay? There's going to be hellhounds from Call of Duty. Anything you can think of. It's going to be real. This year, Nostradamus, he predicted it. And I'm not saying I'm 100% on board, but I'll consider it. Like, I remember as a kid, I used to have, like, a zombie apocalypse dream, like, every 2 to 3 years or so, and, like, I would always have this dream where the world is, like, being overrun by zombies, and the dream would always take place in my house, and during the dream, I would always end up in, like, the same room for some reason, and the room I'm referencing is, like, a living room or, like, a TV room, whatever you want to call it. There's, like, a window, and, like, where the window sits, if you look out there's, like, my porch, and each time I, like, had the dream, like, a different member of my family would be guarding this window, and the same thing would always happen. Like, it'd start off really calm, just sitting in the room, guarding the window, and suddenly we're, like, attacked, and zombies just start flooding through the window. We're trying to defend ourselves, and, like, that's when it gets a little foggy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of plays out a little longer than I just described it, but it always ends with me, like, just waking up suddenly, and, like, I don't know, something about it. Like, I always have the dream, and it's always the same. Like, there's, like, a fine china cabinet that we used to have in that room, and, like, I remember seeing, like, the china cabinet, and, like, for some reason, I don't really remember most of my dreams, but this dream I remember having, and, like, it's weird because I've had it several times, but I remember looking at the china cabinet, and, like, I could tell that it was the china cabinet, but I'm, like, looking, like, closer at it, and, like, the items inside of the cabinet aren't, like, focused, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever, like, looked at, like, a bookcase or something in a dream. Like, maybe, like, the books on the bookcase aren't, like, you can't see, like, the titles or something. It's just, like, scribbles and shit like that. Like, for some reason I just couldn't tell, or I could tell what it was, but I just couldn't really, like, focus on it for some reason. Me personally, like, I was a big fan of, like, Call of Duty Zombies growing up. Like, my parents let me watch the movie Dawn of the Dead. My first online console was a Xbox 360. I had to share with my brother, and our first game was Call of Duty World at War. And I remember the first time you were able to, like, unlock the Nazi zombies game mode. I remember being terrified of that shit, bro. Terrified. For some reason, like, the weird noise that it made, like, I remember the laugh that it played in the beginning. Oh my god, bro, it was so fucking, like, I almost didn't want to play it. But then, like, I remember the DLC was coming out. I remember staying up late for Der Riese to come out. Like, oh man, Shino Numa, like, every single time a DLC came out, it was like fucking candy. I had to feed my addiction. I had to ask somebody, like, grandparent, parent, hey, please, I need it, please. I remember playing the Dead Island series. Like, that was, like, a big favorite between me and my brother. So all those, like, split screen games really came in clutch because we'd be able to play at the same time, especially if they were, like, multiplayer split screen. You could, like, sit there, play with your friends, and still be able to, like, play split screen, so you're, like, sharing and everything. And even after you beat, like, Dead Island, I remember there was, like, hacked guns. Like, people would hack these guns into the game that would have, like, infinite ammo and, like, you know, max damage and shit like that. You're able to, like, one kill, or they do, like, crazy stat effects. Like, this gun would shoot like electric bullets that like shock the zombie. I don't know. It was dumb, but it was like trading cards almost because it was a duplication glitch. And like I remember like you would always join a lobby with like some random people in it and be like, yo, what's good? What you got? And then you sit there like talking about what weapons you have or like the legendaries, and then you're beating missions together, and then you do the duplication glitch. Like I'll give them my shotgun, they'll give me their infinite pistol. Like I just remember being able to like, just back when games actually had some vibes to them, you know what I'm saying? Like everything's all competitive nowadays. I'm gonna wrap the video up here, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you have ever played any of the games I've mentioned, because I am curious to know. And make sure you like and comment if you want another video talking about more Nostradamus and his predictions, because he has some crazy shit out there, bro. Like, it is interesting to just sit here and learn about it. Make sure you like if you want to support the channel, guys. Peace.